we are back. That was Blind Acid Date with Big Fish. John, a band that you used to play with.
That's right. That's right. That's my
good
band.
times.
Cheers, Nate.
And next up, guys, we have the Eastern Conference. Now, which division would you guys like to begin with?
I think we should start in the Metropolitan because, well, I would argue the remaining division will be the best.
Ooh. Okay, at the bottom of the Metro. Now, we did have a little bit of a debate about this. We're going to lead off with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Times have changed.
Wow, yeah.
Yes, they sure have. I mean, apart from Sidney Crosby, there's not a lot to like about this squad. Pretty thin. I mean, that top line is okay. Brian Rust, I still think, is a very good player.
Yeah, I like him.
And Rickard Raquel is okay.
He had a very good season.
He had a
last
great
year.
season last year. These guys could easily be dealt, though, before season's end. And, after that, it thins out very, very quickly.
You think Sid could go? You think Sid might be traded by the end of the year?
I mean, that's the question on everybody's mind.
It is. As a Habs fan, I'm extra...
Yep, there's lots of talk to Montreal. I don't know. I don't think we'll know until we know, if that makes sense.
You're right. Yeah, I think that Sid himself probably doesn't know yet. I know he said he'd like to finish his career in Pittsburgh, but I think the door is open a slight crack now.
Yeah.
Of course, Gino Malkin is back. I'm not sure what he has left.
Sounds like this will probably be his final season in the NHL, and what a great career it's been.
And Chris Letang.
Yes, unfortunately, he's battled quite a few injuries. Hopefully, he can have a healthy year and refine that old form for one more year.
Unfortunately, Marc-Andre Fleury is not back, but that was so cool to see him suit up for a preseason game so we could give the fans one last send-off.
Yeah, that was a really nice touch from the Penguins organization. Memories of those great championship teams.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like we're saying a lot of farewells here in Pittsburgh. It was a great era, but I think it's firmly in the rearview mirror right now.
Anything else that they can be excited about?
How about the prospect of maybe drafting first overall and finding their next Sidney Crosby?
Wow, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly a possibility. If we're talking about positives, maybe Rutger McGroarty. He's hurt right now, but yeah, he's a decent prospect.
We're grasping at straws now, John, if we're talking about Rutger McGroarty.
Yeah, and net.
Ugh. I mean, Tristan Jarry's still in the NHL, I think mostly because of that contract, but he has been giving sub-quality goaltending for quite a few years now. So I think Pittsburgh's just waiting for that deal to expire so they can move on.
Yeah, they've got the Latvian Shilovs back there. I do like him.
Yeah. He was a great goalie in the AHL last year. Let's see if he can do it in the NHL.
Yeah. And next up, their rival, cross-state rival, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yes, gone is John Tortorella and his particular brand of entertaining comments, press conferences, and things like that. But they do have Rick Tocchet, so he can also have some entertaining zingers from time to time.
Yes, I always bet on Rick.
Yeah, well, I think the Flyers probably not going to be in the playoff mix this year, but there are some exciting young players, chief among them, Matvei Michkov. I like to see what he can do in his second season.
Yeah, a lot of excitement there, especially on the power play. He was already a bit of a wizard there. I only expect to see improvement. After that, I mean, there's not a lot to love with the forward group. Sean Couturier got up to a great start last year, but tailed off as the year went along. So if he could find that early season form, this team might be okay.
They bring in Trevor Zegras. I know in the summer show we were asking, can this guy play center? We're going to find out.
Yeah, there's no questioning his talent. He's still young, so I wouldn't write him off just yet. And that line, potentially Zegras and Michkov with Owen Tippett, that could be a pretty high-scoring line, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely talent there. No question about that. I don't love their offensive depth.
Well, Travis Konechny he's a high-end forward.
Sure.
We have
Great
to give
player.
him some love.
Sure, but when we're looking at the bottom six, I think that's where they're really going to get exposed by some of the higher-end teams.
I do like the acquisition of Christian Dvorak. He's a good face-off man, good veteran up the middle. I think that Noah Cates is a decent bottom six option as well. Maybe Bobby Brink takes a step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. I heard Alex Bump looked pretty good in camp.
I love
so,
that name.
yeah,
I
he's
have
got a
no
great
idea
name.
who he is, but that's a great name for a fourth liner.
And how about on defense? They do have Cam York and Travis Sanheim.
Yeah, that's not a terrible top pairing. Of course, Cam York, a lot is expected from him. Can he finally live up to the billing of a first-round pick and take that next step?
They do have Jamie Drysdale as another player that we've been waiting on for a long time.
Yeah, I am interested to see how he does in his first full year here in Philly. He definitely needs to take a step forward, but he's still young, and defense is a tricky position. So he does have some room for growth.
And Mark, you had a lot of concerns in net.
Well, just to jump back to Drysdale for a second, I think the biggest issue with him is going to be health. He's been injured for most of his career. Very talented. If he can be healthy for a full season, you never know. He could get to the 30, 40-point range. But yeah, net is concerning.
Yes, no doubt.
Now, we have seen some flashes from Samuel Ersson. I think this is a huge year for him. I think Philadelphia is going to decide whether or not this is a guy that can be depended on moving forward. Interesting to see if he gets a sniff with Team Sweden as well.
Yeah. Dan Vladar as the backup, not a lot to write home about there, I would say.
No, I think it solidifies the backup spot better than what they had last year. But yeah, I wouldn't look for goaltending to steal them too many games this year. So I think it's going to have to be the strength of some of those young forwards we talked about really stepping up.
Yeah, I think this team will remain on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And let's move along to the New York Islanders. Of course, they've got Patrick Waugh behind the bench. What do you guys think?
Well, Patrick Waugh is always good for entertainment. I'm not sure how entertaining the team will be, though. I just look up and down the line, but I don't see a lot of offensive punch. Potentially the 1-2 combo of Horvat and Barzell up the middle, not bad. I'm just not sure that Matthew Barzell is a centerman at this point. He's been more effective on the wing. He's been injured a lot. I don't know if they can rely on him.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I don't think this team has much pop at all. I mean, it's been a problem for them in the past. Noah Dobson was a great contributor offensively from the back end. He's gone. I'm just not seeing who's going to score.
Well, they do have a couple guys they brought in. From the KHL, they bring in Maxim Shabanov, who's apparently pretty big deal in Russia anyway. Let's see if he can make it in the NHL. Jonathan Drouin had a nice revival in Colorado.
He did, but he was playing alongside McKinnon. He's got nobody like that. So
that's the thing. Can he do it? Can he be a line driver and not just a beneficiary of high-end offensive talent?
Yeah.
Emil Heineman came over in the Dobson deal. I think he had a nice rookie campaign in Montreal. He's going to get a chance to prove it in Islanders. I think he'll probably play higher up in the lineup there.
Yeah. Last year, Anthony Duclair was hurt for most of the season. It would be nice to get a contribution from him.
Beautiful skater. Definitely pops every now and then with his offense. The consistency has always been the issue, though.
Yeah. And now that Lou Lamoriello is gone, everybody's gone back to sporting beards.
Sure. Yeah, a little more freedom.
I think that's more of the Long Island look, you know?
Yeah. Sure.
Some greasy stashes in there.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to D here. Still have Adam Pellick and Ryan Pulak. Pellick and Pulak are our favorite law firm there in Long Island. But there is a new addition coming in this year that's quite exciting.
Yeah, first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer. He's probably going to get a look. Hopefully he can catch on with the team, take that PP1 role maybe. He could be exciting. He was really fun to watch in juniors last year.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this kid play. I wouldn't be surprised if he's quarterback in the power play. They do have Tony DeAngelo.
Yeah, okay.
He can move the puck.
He can if he can keep his mouth shut. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Romanov, a guy, I don't think he's ever reached his full potential, but he'll have a decent opportunity here.
I think he's miscast in a top role, but I think he's a very steady second pair guy.
Now, between the pipes, though, they are looking good.
I still think Ilya Sorokin's one of the best goalies in the world. He's had his ups and downs. Still, I think that he's going to be the anchor for this team. And if they have any hope of making a playoff spot, it's going to have to be on his back.
Yeah, he has to be lights out for this team to be competitive.
And they've got Big Save Dave.
Yeah, I mean, they have a backup.
Well, hopefully Varlamov's okay because I wouldn't rely on him for too many big saves.
No, yeah, that's right. Looking at this team, I think they've really regressed over the last few years. I'm not expecting a big surprise like we have seen in years past, probably out of the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be better than the Pennsylvania bunch, but not by a lot.
Next up, we have a team where there's a little more optimism, the Columbus Blue Jackets. What do you guys think?
And what a great story they were last year, charging hard, nearly making the playoffs and showing so much promise along the way. I think everybody in Columbus is excited to see what this team can do next.
Yeah, I mean, especially Adam Fantilli. He showed us that he's a real offensive guy. He can play hockey. He got 31 goals last year. I'm looking for him to improve upon that number. I wonder what the ceiling is.
I'm really curious to see what Kent Johnson can do. Mark, what about their top line they had last year?
Well, that's the thing, right? So that line was red hot at the start of the year. Sean Monahan anchoring Marchenko and Voronkov. Then Monahan goes down. The team kind of drops off from there. If Monahan can stay healthy for a full season, I mean, he was on pace for an 85-point season. That's crazy.
Yeah, 30-year-old Sean Monahan.
Of course, the story has always been that Sean Monahan can't stay healthy. Hopefully this year he proves doubters wrong. Because if you have Monahan and Fantilli as your 1-2 punch down the middle, that's a playoff team to me.
Yeah, suddenly it's looking like a pretty decent squad.
Yeah, not a ton of depth after that.
No, that's true. But I do love Chinnikov. He had a decent year last year, and they do have some flexibility with some of these positions. Like Boone Jenner, of course, can play center, and he offers a little bit of grit and some penalty killing. Charlie Coyle, also a bit of a Swiss Army knife. So there is some flexibility here with the forward group.
Yeah, I like the forward group. I am not such a big fan of that decor, though. A lot of money has been spent on that decor. You look at some of these contracts, the resigning Provorov, I thought he got way too much money. You look at the money they gave Severson a few seasons back, and what are you actually getting out of that group? Now, of course, Zach Werenski.
Oh, what a season.
Absolute
Amazing.
stud. He is not part of this conversation, but beyond him, I don't really see a solid number 2 D-man.
Dante Fabro did fit in pretty nicely after coming over.
Reclamation project, but I mean, really, I think if he's in your top 4, that's not a great sign.
I thought you were a big Branson fan, no?
Oh man, yeah, he's he tries his best. He's not the fleetest of foot.
No.
He's a bit of a liability in his own end. Physical though.
Yeah.
They did have a nice surprise in net last year. Jet Greaves.
Yeah.
And they still have Elvis. He's not left the building.
Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out. I think Elvis is actually a pretty good goaltender. Jet Greaves, I think the jury is still out on his ability to perform at a high level. But definitely not too bad.
Well, we know the way Elvis he sways back and forth, shakes those hips. I think that eventually he's going to need a breather, and if Jet Greaves can prove that he wasn't just a flash in the pan last year, that could be a catalyst for the Jackets to make the playoffs this year.
All right, let's keep it moving to the New York Rangers. Now, this was a team that had pretty high expectations going into last season. They really disappointed. Can they bounce back this year?
Yeah, from cup contender to missing the playoffs, that was a disaster. I think that this year we can kind of expect something in between those two results. I know that's not much of a prediction, but I do like the fact that they're going to have a full year of JT Miller. He's also
captain.
I know, well, that's a bold move. I feel like a bold move was needed in New York, though, to shake things up. So I don't know. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief and think that this could actually turn out well.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this team on paper, and I don't see the Stanley Cup contender that people were talking about at the start of the season last year. We definitely need to see some improvement from Mika Zibanejad.
Yeah, can he do it?
I don't know. I mean, he is a little bit older. Perhaps he was punching a little bit above his weight during those really, really great years he had. So, yeah, we're going to need to see that. Vinny Trocheck, he's going to be a great second-line center, but he doesn't offer as much offense as you would hope.
Yeah, but I think if you balance your lines properly and you have Trocheck with a guy like Panarin, that's where your offense comes from. That's where who your play driver is. Trocheck is more of a puck retriever and maybe a finisher at that point. So I don't know. I look at their top 6. I don't mind what I see. You've got some size. You've got some skill. You've got some experience. You got a little bit of youth as well with Will Cooley. He's a banger, but he's got some hands as well. So I also am kind of excited to see what Gabriel Perreault can do.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a ton of depth in that bottom 6.
No, it's kind of a mishmash of grinders and guys who probably will never become NHL regulars. But I guess it's going to come down to Shesterkin in the end, though. He's one of the best goalies in the league, and can he return to form?
One of the best. I think he is the best. He'll prove it this season.
Let's look at the D a little bit here. Adam Fox, obviously, he is a Norris winner. He didn't have his best season last year, especially by his lofty standards, but can we see a return to form for Fox?
Apparently, he'd been dealing with a nagging injury for much of the season that may have contributed to it. They've also done a nice job of bringing in Vladislav Gavrikov, who I think is a solidifying force to play with Fox. Kind of that role that Ryan Lindgren used to play back in his heyday before injuries whittled him down. So I think that could be a nice 1-2 punch.
After that, it really thins out, though.
Yeah, not a lot of exciting names. You've got some solid pros like Carson Soucy and Will Borgen who were brought in. Not guys that move the needle. I still think Braden Schneider has another dimension to his game, though. Hopefully he can step up.
I mean, they do have Matt Rempe, so we can expect some fun
some
entertainment.
fireworks.
Well, that's not a defenseman. That's
I know. Just as something to add a little spice to their game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a fourth line winger who honestly, I don't even know what that guy's in the NHL.
I think you know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have Mike Sullivan there behind the bench. That's a big change for them. I think it's safe to say we agree this team will show some improvement. Perhaps they make the playoffs. It's not a guarantee. Only time will tell.
Next up, we have the former team of Rod Langway, the Washington Capitals. This team was one of the biggest surprises, coached by Stephen Carberry.
Yeah, what a year for the Washington Capitals. Nobody saw them coming. This year, though, division championship has to be defended, and I think teams are going to be ready for them. It might be hard for them to repeat the success from last season.
Yeah, I think it might be as well. Obviously, Alexander Ovechkin breaks the goal record. Is there going to be a bit of a come down from that? Is he going to be able to maintain that level of production? That's a big one. However, I think the rest of the team is still intact. I do expect a very competitive squad here, and we may even see some players improve upon their season, like Connor McMichael. He's a guy to watch out for.
Yeah, no, I like McMichael. I really like Alexei Protas.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see a full year from Ryan Leonard. I think he's another difference maker up front. So, no, the Capitals are talented, and they're physically menacing, not to mention the big bruiser Tom Wilson. He can score. He can smash you through the boards. He can punch your teeth out. He's just a scary guy out there.
And I like that 1-2 combo at center with Dylan Strome and Pierre-Luc Dubois, who fit in nicely.
Oh, that was found money. To get Pierre-Luc Dubois and for him to return to form, that was absolutely massive. Similar story on the blue line. Jacob Chychrun also fulfilling his promise. That was a big boost to the Capitals.
For sure. And Rasmus Sandin, he's another nice little piece back there. I think they have some nice depth.
They still got the veteran John Carlson providing the offense back there.
Yeah, every year I think this is the year he falls off, but he keeps maintaining a high level of play. I think the Capitals' biggest key, though, is to get the same quality of goaltending that they got out of Logan Thompson.
Yes, between the pipes, they returned Logan Thompson and Charlie Lindgren.
Yeah, Lindgren had a bit of a down year after a good year, but again, if Thompson can maintain this level, the Capitals will be in contention for another division title.
That's a solid combo.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be quite as good as last year, but I think they're definitely a playoff team.
Let's move along and talk about the Devils of New Jersey. What's the key for this team?
Oh, for sure, it's the health of their Triple H squad. So you've got Jack Hughes. Unfortunately, he can never finish a season healthy. Nico Hischier always seems to get banged up. And, well, Dougie Hamilton, we all know the injury woes he's dealt with over the past few seasons. They're all healthy to start this year, though. And, man, if they could stay together, that first-line power play is going to be cooking with dynamite.
Yeah, and I mean, there's another H in there, too. Luke Hughes. Brother, of course.
Still needs a contract.
He needs a contract. So, I mean, if he can get in there, there is a chance that he could unseat Dougie Hamilton on the first power play unit and really move into a prime scoring spot.
I love Jesper Bratt. He's a fantastic winger.
So consistent.
Yes. Would like to see a little more to Timo Meier, though.
I know they had so much riding on him. He's the guy that could bring that physical element mixed with scoring, and he just hasn't lived up to what he was able to do in San Jose.
They bring in Dadonov.
Yeah, nice veteran piece. At 36, though, I'm not sure what he has left.
And, of course, they have Palat still.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup experience is nice. I think the guy that I want to see more from is Dawson Mercer, former first-round pick. He's shown flashes here and there, but I think a lot of people in New Jersey are frustrated with his lack of production.
Yeah, on the back end there, apart from Dougie Hamilton and Luke Hughes, Jonas Siegenthaler, he's a very responsible defensive defenseman. They're going to need him to be able to do that, to really bolster their defensive play and keep pucks out of the net.
Say the same thing about Brett Pesce,
Sure,
another very
absolutely.
solid defender.
And Brendan Dillon providing some sandpaper back there.
Yeah, they've got an absolute embarrassment of riches on the blue line because we still have not mentioned second pick overall from a few seasons back, Simone Nemec, still looking to carve out an NHL role, but I mean, he's got a high ceiling as well.
And between the pipes, they have the tandem of Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. I really like that.
Yeah, I do like the sound of Jake and Jacob. That's a nice 1-2 combo in net. Veteran presence. If one gets cold, the other one can come in. And neither of them have to play a super heavy load, so they're both fresh for the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs should not be in doubt for this team. I think they look really good on paper. A couple of years ago, they were looking like they could be a future cup contender. I'm not sold on the fact that they are. They have to prove that. It's a tough league. I'm just not ready to put them in that elite tier just yet.
All right, and let's finish off the Metro Division by talking about the Carolina Hurricanes.
Every year, they're among the best teams in the division. Every year, they will at least win one playoff round. And every year, they get smoked in the conference finals. Will this year be different?
I don't know. I mean, they've definitely made some moves here. They added one of the biggest free agents in the offseason, Nikolai Ehlers, picking him up from Winnipeg. He's certainly going to add some scoring pop and some flash and should help improve their power play. I think some of the same problems that this team has had for many, many years remain, though. I don't really love their center depth after Sebastian Aho.
Yeah, the revenge signing of Jesperi Kotkaniemi has not worked out. He is now mostly a third or fourth liner. And until they find a second centerman, I don't know if they're going to make it to the next level. It seems like they're going to try Logan Stankoven as a 2C. I'm not sure if that'll work out.
A lot of talent there and a lot of potential. But yeah, it might be a little too early for him to be taking on that kind of role.
They still have Seth Jarvis and Andrei Svechnikov. Do you think Svechnikov will ever reach the level that we hope for him?
Oh, man, it doesn't seem like that long ago that he's going to be a 40-40 guy with physical edge. And now, yeah, I mean, last year he even cracked 50 points. I think he's got a bounce back in him. I'm just not sure he's going to live up to being a second pick overall and being that franchise winger they need.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, certainly some bright spots, though. The defense on this team is outstanding, I would say. Jacob Slavin, one of the best defensive defensemen in the game. Sean Walker has taken a step forward. Shane Gostisbehere was excellent on the power play last year.
Yeah, good value pickup.
for sure.
They brought in Keandre Miller, which was a bold move. Untapped potential there. And they're going to have a full year of Alexander Nikishin.
Yeah, excited
Coming
about
over
this
from
kid.
the KHL. I watched a lot of him last year. I was tracking Demidov. They were teammates, and he's a solid player. I think he could turn into a good top four defender for them.
And how about in the crease? Who's the number one goalie this year?
The same old story.
Yeah, really.
It'll probably be Freddie to start. Freddie will probably get hurt.
Yeah, and inevitably it'll fall on the shoulders of Pyotr Kochetkov. Hopefully he gets a goal along the way. He's always exciting from back there. But again, like we said, the same problems they've had year after year. We do expect this team to top the division. Are they a cup contender? They seem to have a lot of trouble getting out of that last round into the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes, there is a lot of heat on the head coach there, Rod the Bod Brindamore.